Greetings and welcome to Sunlight Refuge, where the name of the game is motivation, inspiration, and growth. Hi everyone, my name is Tracy, and if you are new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about 5 things that you may be doing that's actually self-sabotaging your future and hindering you from moving forward towards being your best self. Sometimes you have to notice the habits that you're doing to realize what's holding you back from your highest self. So, before we get started, do me a solid and like, share, and subscribe, and let's get started. So, the first thing, so first of all, it's many things, right? So, if it's not on this list, don't think that it's all good and gravy. Just self, analyze yourself and see what you got going on, because our life is defined in our daily habits. Where we're going in the future is defined by what you're doing daily, right? And so the first one that I thought was very impactful when it comes to excuse me, y'all, when it comes to self-sabotaging is stalling, right? If you ever been around somebody or even yourself and you realize it's so many things that you can do to help elevate your life, but you stall, right? You put it off, you make excuses, you say you're gonna do it tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? All these things. And you know what it stems from? It stems from fear, right? You gotta believe in yourself. I'm telling you, you gotta be your biggest cheerleader, right? You gotta believe in yourself. And I know the unknown, it can be scary, right? We don't know, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you're going into like businesses and even like relationships, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're investing in this, you're investing in your heart, you're investing your time, you're investing your money when it comes to a business, you know what I'm saying? And you got to go work for that money. Like there's no money trees in our backyards, you know what I'm saying? And so sometimes you get a fear of, what if it don't work? What if, you know what I'm saying? What if I find myself in a worse spot than that? And all of these are possibilities, right? But it shouldn't be the reason why you not move forward in that, right? Whatever that is. Because what if it does work out? You know what I'm saying? You do your homework, you know what I'm saying? And that's why you got to talk to yourself nice, right? You got to motivate yourself. You got to believe in you, because even if you have a great idea, not everybody is going to be ready to, you know what I'm saying, invest in your idea the way that you are. But it doesn't mean that it's not a good idea. It just means that they're not where you are. You know what I'm saying? We all got our own paths. Sometimes they intertwine, sometimes they don't. But that shouldn't be a reason to hold yourself back and let these opportunities pass you by because you think that you're not capable, right? Because these hesitations, you allow them to hold you hostage from your future. You know what I'm saying? So if you ever find yourself just stalling or not believing in yourself, take that and flip it in reverse, right? Flip it in reverse and say, what if I can do it? What if I'm supposed to do it? God help me get to it. You know what I'm saying? And do your research on it and move forward. You don't have to just be but take it step by step, but progress, right? Which brings me to my next one, rushing. Sometimes people are so quick to rush into something that they don't do their due diligence, right? Just as stalling can, prolong it, rushing can get you to destruction faster. right? So you got to take your time. Making quick decisions without reflection will also cause you to fumble the play. You know what I'm saying? And it could have been a good thing, but you just so, you know what I'm saying? Some people be so in a rush. They don't even get all of the information. They don't do all of the research. They just pull the trigger off of one little thing. You can really mess up that way. And then you have to go all the way full circle when you could have just took your time and did it right, right? Because often, you know, rushing, it leads you to mistakes that you could have avoided, right? And so you don't want to be on a path of regret. Man, I should have. Man, I could have. Man, if I would have. You know what I'm saying? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. You don't want to be on that path. So just slow down, get clarity, pray about it, receive, you know what I'm saying? And then move forward, right? And another thing that can self-sabotage you being your best self and even your future, number 3, I feel like it's it's it shows its face a lot, and that's holding on to past hurts. You gotta heal. You gotta heal. You ever been around somebody and it's a moment of celebration or it's a moment of recognition, and the moment just gets stolen by past hurts, you know? And these hurts can come like 5, 10, 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. You still holding on to past hurts. You got to forgive and move on. And it's not for them, it's for you. Because when you hold on to that past hurt, you are robbing yourself of your joy of the now. Right? You robbing yourself of the joy of the now. It's not to say that it didn't happen, it didn't hurt you. It's not to say just get over it. It's to say let go and let God, because you got a whole future. You got a whole present for you to be walking in gratitude of. Don't let past hurts define your future. And I see that a lot. And I do my best to listen and to empathize, but also to help to forgive and move forward. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where that joy always comes in the morning. But if you holding on to the rain, if you holding on to the hurt, then you holding your joy hostage, right? And clinging on to old paths doesn't punish the person that hurts you, the situation that hurts you. It punishes you. Because again, it robs you of your now, of your happiness, of your joy, right? And then it breeds resentment. Especially it hurts the most when you see it in family. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always encourage people to talk to them. At least let them know how you feel, how it made you feel, right? Because that's the step. It takes steps, right? And that's the step to help move forward in forgiveness and get it off of your heart. It weighs you down. You know what I'm saying? And then you can't even be in the same room with somebody because all you hold on to is that past hurt, right? Even when it comes down to like relationships. Like, I know society will make you believe that if you break up, you supposed to hate each other, and you know what I'm saying? And then y'all going down this road of butting heads until your child becomes 18 and beyond, because it don't stop at 18. That's the kicker. You thinking that, oh, I got to do this for it. No, these children are part of your life and your life for the rest of your life. It don't stop at 18. So why hold on to resentment and fussing and fighting and just putting, you know what I'm saying? All of that strife and discord, it's really sad when you see that play out. Because sometimes people are there for a reason. Sometimes people are there for a season, and sometimes people are there for a lifetime. And if you're there for a reason or a season, okay. Now on to the next. Right? And the ones that are there forever, like, do right. And that's why your spirituality is so important, because what helps guide you into doing right is your relationship with the Most High. You don't want to disappoint the Most High. So you hold yourself to a higher standard and you hold yourself to a responsibility because of that connection. That connection is trickled down and played out in reality in this world. Right? So holding on to past hurts, it breeds resentment and it robs your joy and your peace and your trust. You know what I'm saying? Trust is big. But now you can't trust nobody or you will never trust that person ever again because of what happened so long ago. Do you know what I'm saying? It's releasing it. Releasing that past hurt. Allowing God to make you whole again. Right? That's the greatest gift you can give to yourself. You know how much energy it takes to be mad at somebody, though? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes certain situations call for just a separation, but it doesn't have to be a hateful separation. When you look at people and you hold them as God's creations, then you can't hate it, because that was God's creation. Now with that creation comes free will, and if you decide to go down Satan's path, then you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's not about hating. We got to get back to, you are my brother, you are my sister, even if you're in the world and you're going down the wrong path. It's not for me to hate you, right? Which brings me to my next point of being an enabler. When you see people going down the wrong path, especially people that you care about, you got to say something, right? You can't just play along and just keep enabling that situation that's holding them back from being their best selves, right? If you are an enabler to somebody that you care about, you need to reevaluate how you care about people. Because being silent and letting them go down a path of destruction or stay down a road of destruction is not love. That's not support. Sometimes it can be you that's that person to help the next one to get out of that path of destruction, that road of destruction. But if you don't rise to the challenge as a creation of the Most High to help your people, then that's something you're going to have to take up with God. Right? Because watching people you care about take destructive paths and saying nothing, the silence doesn't equal the love. You know what I'm saying? And true care means gently guiding someone to show them the way, even when it's uncomfortable, to show them the way. Hey, I know you're grown, or hey, I know you got to figure it out. Hey, but let me tell you. Now it's up to them to listen. You can't live somebody else's life for them, but you can't just stand on the sideline and just be silent about it, right? Once you take these choices off the table, then it becomes easier for you to recognize that when these things come into your, your space, then you act accordingly, right? And even if it's you, sometimes people can be going through things and they just want to live in a false reality, right? They just want to pretend that everything is great, or they just want to pretend that they're good, and they just want to, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I find that that's like when it's really bad, because then now you can't face reality. You got to create a false narrative, a false reality. And to somebody who cares about you, who knows you, sees that. And it's not just about you, it hurts them too. So they call it escapism. And condoning escapism instead of healing, you are actively participating in the in reverse, to being your best self in reverse, right? That's drinking, that's the drugs, you know what I'm saying? The toxic behaviors. That's why I tell my children now, especially my sons, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And you got to talk to people nice, especially women. Talk to your sisters nice. Talk to people, you know what I'm saying? You can get your point across, but you can't be yelling, because if you yelling now, then you gonna yell when you get older. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta learn how to speak to people and not be cursing somebody out. You can't say that this is the person that God sent to you and this is the person that you love with all your heart, but you actively abusing them, whether it's verbally, whether it's financially, you know what I'm saying, whether it's physically, you know what I'm saying, having these manipulative behaviors and things of that nature. You know, when you see that, that's not of God. And we all got to be mindful of that, because yes, you get frustrated and stuff, but dogging your people, that's something else, right? The witness and the driver, one goes down one path and one goes down the other. You got to recognize who's leading you down which path, right? So these unhealthy, ways of escapism to numb reality, that's just for right now. It's a short-term fix, for lack of a better word, but it's not really fixing nothing. It's just making it longer and harder for you to get out of a cycle that's not benefiting you, right? So we're not here alone, and we all play a part in each other's lives. So remember that the escape may feel good in the moment, but it steals your reality to live fully and authentically, right? And which brings me to my last point of just not relying on the people around you, right? Not trusting that the people around you can get things done. You know what I'm saying? When you feel like you're the only one that can do it, that you can't trust nobody else to do it, you know what I'm saying? You just put all the weight of whatever that is on you. That's gonna stress you out. We got a lot of stuff we got going on. That's how this world is set up. We got a lot of things that we gotta do. But you shouldn't put all of the responsibility just on you. So you got to think about that. Are you a person who micromanages or just put all the responsibility on you? Or take it a step further, are you the type of person who allows somebody to just take on all the responsibility? See, that's an issue too, because there's people out there who will just allow you to do it, see you stressing, see you, you know what I'm saying, going through so much, and just allow you to go through it. Don't lift the helping hand, because that doesn't benefit them. If you are that type of person, please stop. If you know that type of person and you are associating yourself with that type of person, then that's not going to benefit you at all. They don't care about you at all. Because somebody who cares about you is not going to let you just hold all the weight. Right? So it's like a mixture of all different types of energies within that, right? You got some people who just feel like they're the only ones that can do it. If I don't do it, then it's not gonna get done, right? And so you end up carrying the whole load, even when you got support readily available. So you know what I'm saying? That's self-sabotaging as well, because if you gotta carry the whole load, you gonna get stressed out, you gonna get tired, you're not a machine. You gonna get frustrated, you gonna start feeling a type of way, but then you gotta ask yourself though, like, how am I actively participating in this self-sabotaging behavior? Right? That's part of it. You got to notice the habits that are pulling you back, that is keeping you from your highest self, right? In order for us to grow, collaboration is required, right? It's required. So that's it. That's the message. I was just thinking about, people. I love people. I love God's people. You know what I'm saying? And helping requires me to understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And just try to offer what I can offer. You know what I'm saying? Because we all need each other to be our best selves, and we got to know that we can't do that by ourselves. We wasn't meant to do it by ourselves. So sometimes you don't get the help you need because people don't know how to recognize that somebody need help. So it's informative because it allows you to see certain signs, you know what I'm saying, and see certain things. You got to ask yourself, you got to put it in two categories. Does this help me or does this hinder me? Am I moving forward or am I staying stagnant and moving back? You know what I'm saying? If we put it in the black or white, either or, left or right, up or down, it makes it easier to recognize where we're going. And when we recognize that it's going in the wrong direction, you got to be able to pull it back and change that habit, right? But it's going to require your diligence within that. You know what I'm saying? So your best self is already within you. And sometimes it's not about adding more, But it's about releasing what no longer is needed from you, right? It's releasing what no longer serves you. And that's what it is. Release whatever doesn't serve you anymore. That emotion, that hurt, that mindset, that environment, you know what I'm saying? Those people, those places, those things, what you listening to, what you watching, what you wearing, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta release it and let God work through you, and you'll be smiling every day because you'll be living a positive lifestyle with purpose. Remember, I need you to be your best self, and you need me to be our best self, so we can be our best selves together, and we can just make this world a wonderful, beautiful place as God intended it to be. So till the next time, have a wonderful, wonderful